Okay, so the last thing we're going to look at is K and cuál. Hold on. Okay, and actually I think I'm going to undo that because I don't want it over the picture, but right here. Okay, so the last thing we're going to look at is K and cuál. K and cuál may be translated as what or which, so they both can mean what or which, okay? But they are not interchangeable, and that's the important piece. So you can't, there's instances in which you use K and instances in which you use cuál, and you can't pick and choose. There's certain instances for each. Okay, so they're not interchangeable. Generally, K is used to request a definition or an explanation. So we're going to go with K, whoops, K, definition or explanation. It can also be followed by a noun. So it can also be followed by a noun to mean which. Okay. Cuál implies a choice or a selection. So cuál, choice or selection, and it's generally not followed by a noun. So if we're going to be choosing between these two and we see a noun, then we're going to pick K, not cuál. So not followed by a noun, that's important. Okay. And then they give you a couple of expressions. ¿Qué tienes? What do you have? ¿Qué es esto? What's this? ¿Qué clase tienes ahora? Which class do you have now? ¿Cuál prefieres? Which one do you prefer? ¿Cuál es la fecha de hoy? What is today's date? And ¿cuáles son los meses del año? So these are expressions in which you would find que or cuál. So let's do some practice. Okay. So we want to decide whether we want qué, cuál, or cuáles. Pablo says, blank de los estudiantes es de Argentina. El estudiante alto y guapo es de Argentina. Here, there would be a choice, which of the students is from Argentina. So if there's a choice, you're going to want to pick cuál or cuáles. And since you're trying to, we're identifying one because we say el estudiante alto y guapo es de Argentina, we're going to pick cuál. Which of the students is from Argentina? Blank is la fecha de hoy. And if we go back out here, we have for telling the date, we use cuál. So we're going to put cuál here. ¿Cuál es la fecha de hoy? Okay, es el 10 de abril. Blank día is hoy. What day is today? That would be K. What day is today? ¿Qué día es hoy? So whenever you're asking the day, you're always going to use K, which they should have put down here, which I guess we can. Let's put it down here. ¿Qué día es? All right, then over here, Pablo blank son los estudiantes de Cuba. Los estudiantes morenos y guapos son los estudiantes de Cuba. And the fact that I'm giving multiple up here, I'm saying which one of the, okay, so here it was saying which one of the students is from Argentina. If you have day, you're going to say which one. Here I'm saying which of the students are Cuban, so I'm going to make it plural. So I'll use cuáles instead. ¿Cuáles son los estudiantes de Cuba? Los estudiantes morenos y guapos son los estudiantes de Cuba. What's in your book bag? So that's you're not giving a choice, you're just simply identifying what's in there. and it's to request a definition or an explanation. So we're going to put ¿Qué here? ¿Qué hay en tu mochila? And if I go over here, Pablo says blank. Oh, we already did it. We already done that one. Let me take it out. Oh, you know what? Let's take it out over here because we're missing part of it. Okay, so we had already decided that it was K. ¿Qué hay en tu mochila? Hay unos libros y un lápiz en mi mochila. Then Pablo says, blank es la clase más interesante. So here's a choice. Which class is the most interesting? So that's going to be ¿cuál? ¿Cuál es la clase más interesante? Oops. Blank es esto. That's one of your expressions when you're trying to identify something. That's going to be ¿qué es esto? Blank son los libros español, los libros azules son los libros. So here you're trying to identify again, which would be, or you're trying to, you've got a choice. You've got a bunch of, it's basically like you've got a bunch of books sitting out on the desk, or you're in the bookstore and you're asking for someone to tell you which ones are the Spanish ones, or they're saying the blue ones are. So this would be cuál, and it would be plural because your answer is plural. ¿Cuáles son los libros español? Los libros azules son los libros español. Blank diccionario es el más barato. El diccionario pequeño es el más barato. So again, we're asking for a choice. Which one's the most inexpensive? And it's singular this time because you're asking for just the one dictionary. So it's going to be ¿cuál? ¿Cuál diccionario es el más barato?